Up next is a gun that's probably the biggest, one of the biggest icons in the airsoft world, that everybody automatically drools when they see this one, because they just want to hold it. You know, get a picture taken with.
Number one question in the shop.
And in fact, that's probably the only reason why I have this particular one, is just for people that want to get their picture taken with a Barrett.
This is the M82 Barrett. It's labeled, I think, on e-bike as a 6mm Pro Shop. I think it's made by Snow Wolf, which is possibly JG. I'm honestly kind of confused by the branding, but regardless, this is the M82 that you can buy on e-bike. Goes for about $500, or right now it's on sale for $400 at the time of this video. So,
a couple of caveats on this particular gun. We did have to modify this. The previous owner that we purchased it from had taken it and made it into an HPA gun.
Yes, they put a SMP in it. And when we purchased it, we just bought the body. When we got it, like we mentioned, we did drop a brand new gearbox in it. We put a new hop up in it, new barrel in it. So we basically switched out the internals. When you purchase this gun, according to e-bike, they're saying about 450 FPS with a 0.2 gram BB.
Yeah, they're saying 410 to 440.
And then when we chronoed it with our gearbox, keep in mind a G&G gearbox with an M120, we were getting about 350, which is kind of funny because we can say this gun's field legal. So.
Yeah, you can actually use this gun here at this field if you wanted sitting back and This is a version 2 gearbox, which is kind of cool because this gun will shoot fully automatic. So you can hang in there. The problem is you've got 10 times the size of a gun to try to run around with, so you're not going to be very maneuverable.
Having a fully automatic Barrett sounds really cool, but you also have to keep in mind that if you want to use this at a milsim op, which you probably wouldn't want to, but if you did, I imagine they would have some sort of stipulation where, since your gun can do full auto, you can't use it.
One of the problems I had with this gun that I was not crazy about is that you have to disassemble the parts to get the battery into it. We fixed that by putting an external battery box onto this gun, so that all you have to do is just open up the cover and drop a battery into it. Makes your day go a little bit quicker. And these are not very expensive. We get these, they're only about maybe a $20 add-on to a gun that has a rail. We did also have to add a side rail onto it to mount this thing. So if you want to do this exact arrangement, you may have to do a little bit of customizing to get all this stuff to fit on there. I think it's worth the time because of the amount of time you'll save in the long run. But let's get down to brass tacks. When we actually fired this gun, it was not quite what I thought it was going to be.
For a Barrett, for an M82 Barrett with everything that we put inside of it,
we got probably about a 16-inch to 17-inch group, which is a pretty good size for shooting 100 feet. That's a pretty big spread. If you're considering shooting at a human target, your kill zone is still about a 16-inch radius, so you'll still be hitting people within a kill zone. But for something with a tight bore barrel that's 650 millimeters with a custom spring and everything that we put into this gun.
It's just the principle of it that if you're going to be carrying something around that's it's this heavy, it's this long, you want it to have its advantages. It's got the clear disadvantages of, like the real thing. It's heavy, it's bulky, it uses a very large magazine, it's just cumbersome, but you don't get the advantages like, in real life, you can shoot out an engine block with this gun. In airsoft, you're doing the same thing. You're shooting the same as a guy with a combat machine, basically. So and again, like, you kind of have to take this with a grain of salt. Remember that we did have to drop our own gearbox in it, our own barrel. So maybe if you buy this one brand new, I wish we had the stock internal so we could have tested those. Maybe brand new, it's not so bad.
The upsides of this gun, probably the biggest upside to me is just the look of it.
It's cool as hell. I mean, when I showed up with this thing to the field the first day when I brought it in, everybody wanted to look at it, and for me, that's honestly part of airsoft. Is I want to look cool. I want it to, be something that I can kind of show off a little.
And there's some guys I can think of that come to this field on a regular basis that might play 1 or 2 games anyway, and are just here to like show off their kit.
Right.
This would be a perfect gun for you guys because you're going to get a lot of attention. Everybody's going to want to check out your gear. The downside is, to me, it's a little pricey, in the $400 price range, $400 to $500. One of the upsides, going back to the upside on this gun, is that it's a version 2 compatible.
Yeah.
So there's a million parts out there for this gun, and if you don't like the way it shoots and you want to try to make it more accurate, there's going to be just piles and piles of custom pistons, cylinders, everything that you can get to make this gun more accurate will be available.
And if something does break, it's going to be pretty easy just to open it up, pull the gearbox out, and take a look at it. So if you're really interested in this and you're a little confused about upgrading guns, but you're used to AEGs maybe, or you just want to start working on AEGs, this actually isn't a terrible option.
No, and it's fairly, there's only really one pin that holds the gearbox in.
Just separate the halves, pull the motor out, remove the pin and the mag, and
that's
you're pretty much done.
Very easy gun to work on. So if you want to find out more, we do have one here. You can come down and try it out. So I'm sort of on the fence. I don't think I would. This would be my first choice.
This is not something I would use to play competitively, but considering we got the body for $50,
can't beat it.
Yeah, you can't really argue.
And I'd have to say, if I didn't get it for $50, I probably would have passed.
Right. Yeah.
Make up your own mind about that.
Oh yeah.
All right.